So, is it Tanya that pulled in a question? I'll do your questions at the end. We'll separate this to put it as a video for Gene Hackman. So, welcoming everyone in. I hope everyone is well. I hope you're doing fine and dandy. I hope life is treating you all okay. I'm going to pull up a quick brief of Gene Hackman, but I really wanted to see what the cards bring in with what I was getting psychically. From the time this kind of all... Can we have my light mic in? I like the colour of it, so colour therapy, come on. I had it right. I guess I'll chop my head off, so let's just keep him here. Oh, there we go. Give you a little bit of colour therapy. So Gene Hackman, when it happened, and you know I'm not quite a conspiracy theorist. I don't know why I can't get my words out suddenly. I felt straight away it was to do with investment and asset, and particularly the property, basically. This is a bit complex. So I did, when I was getting psychic downloads, although I didn't plan to do a reading, and that's why I want to see what the cards brings up. There was a plan being done in the background, and there was someone lurking in the background, maybe more than one person. Betsy caught on to some lurking happening in the background, but there's two dynamics that was happening here, and I don't know why I can see a yellow spot in the middle of my head. I don't know if it's the camera trying to zoom in or what. So she felt like there was a lurking in the background, but she didn't know that the lurking was to go this far, right? The lurking was to make sure that certain individuals were on the will or will get the establishment, the establishment, and there was other individuals lurking. Now, although they seem to feel like the children, which I gather are probably not from Bestie, because they're not referring it to Bestie and the kids, or I know they're probably adults, so I presume he was married prior. He distanced himself from the kids because it was kind of like got to a stage where I've just done so much. Until when? Like, I can't keep being the bailout, especially financially. I've done you into adulthood, etc. And so there was a distance between them. Bear in mind, I can't even remember when this all happened. And so I'll pull up a brief so that we're all on the same page. I know that at the beginning they were saying carbon monoxide, but I feel like they said that because they couldn't find anything else, and that's the only thing that kind of made sense, but it was not making sense. There was so much confusion when they were there finding them. They didn't know what to say. And I might be all over with this because I've got notes which I'll refer to. Betsy was very healthy in what she ate. She kept her body active. She was very organized and strict on certain things as well. So she honored Gene Hackman and what he wanted. But for example, if he was having a day or he was just like, F it, just give it to whoever wants it. We're gone. She'll be like, no, the right thing needs to happen. And so she always made sure that if he'd put something in place, that she did the morally right thing, and also not just feeding into people that were in a way ready just to take advantage of, that didn't do anything in return. And I am talking about the children. I do get heavily the daughter either having some form of strong resentment or very much at the forefront of she's going to be more vocal, but there is a very strong resentment there. When Betsy felt there was some lurking happen in the background, she knew that it was for monetary monetary reason. I wanted to say monetization, and property and etc. But she couldn't quite also, there was another lurking energy, and this was all kind of planned, but then it actually happened. It's very complex because there's dynamics, and I'm going to get into more complexity in a moment. I think she tried to seek professional guidance on what she thought was trying to happen in the background, that when they're no longer there or they've passed, okay, the person didn't really give her the assurance that she needed or she felt was right in her situation. Now, she's the type of person that's like, she had some worries basically, and she never told Jean about everything that she felt was happening in the background, and she was very close to one element of it, but there was various elements happening, like the plan of this, etc. What I don't know what they said he had passed away from, so let's just pull up a briefing before I go further. Are any of you following this story? If it's died down, it's going to come up again. There's going to be fights over this, and I think, I presume there'll be body camera, right? Genehackman, because I did take a second. I felt sure that I took a screenshot to read with you, like, of what happened, and this is giving me headache at the moment, this essence, so 1 second. I don't know why that's giving me very strong headache, although I just lit it, it's a bit suffocating. 1 second, I'm sorry. Because I thought I'd read it with us together. Just make sure that I've not deleted it. Yes, I did delete it. So, in the final months of Gene Hackman's life, neighbors in Santa Fe, Mexico noticed his health appeared to be declining. He and Betsy were living a quieter life. Betsy was last seen alive at CVS Pharmacy on the 11th of February 2025. I should have thought about doing the numerology. And returned to their gated community at 5:15 p.m. You know, this word gated community, it makes me feel like there's a community of land and then there's like villas or something. But the way I see his villa is like a mansion and not a villa, and I don't see another villa next to it. So I'm getting confused with that. I don't know if I don't know what they mean by gated community. Gated community to me is like there's houses and maybe there's a shared pool and stuff, but let's think of the rich and famous. So a massive villa and then it's all gated. But I don't see a house nearby, and I do see it quite massive. Anyway, on February 12th, 2025, Betsy called a physician who runs a private clinic in Santa Fe and made an appointment that afternoon, but she didn't show up. Betsy died in her home short time later from hantavirus, and that's from rodents, isn't it? Hackman did not seek help. Authorities believed he was unable to comprehend her passing due to his Alzheimer's. Hackman was 98 and he died in the home on February 18th, at which point his pacemaker recorded an abnormal rhythm. He died of severe heart disease and complicated advanced Alzheimer's disease and kidney disease. So what I want to say with his passing right now, advanced heart disease, blah, blah, blah. No. The pulmonary peacemaker that's picked up on something is he's been confronted and it's took him into shock. He didn't like expect to see or be in that situation. Could he care for himself? No, he wasn't. So like the reason she might not have turned up at like wherever they said she was going was because she was worried about leaving him alone, and also she there was that lurking energy, and I just saw 1111 on the thing. Tanya, I'll do your question at the end, and we've also got someone else, so we'll run through those. They were very good together. She got his attention because she wasn't like, oh my God, Jean, I just want to, like, I'll do anything to get with Jean. No, she was like, she's very like, if this is right, this is right kind of thing. She's not like, I'm going to bend the rules for you or something like that. She's a bit of a Saggy energy. She won't necessarily show you that she was worried or feeling weak, okay? And she loved him because he allowed her to do whatever she wanted and to be her authentic self. So, you know, sometimes you hear someone, you hear like, oh, let's say Sally says to Sandra, we've got the S's coming out, yeah, I'm going to go to the salon to get my roots done and a few highlights in because my husband likes it when it's lighter, that kind of thing. With him, he was like, just do what you want. Like you want your hair brown, love it. He didn't say either or, and I think she liked that because she liked a little bit of the sense of freedom. He's a man that like, I don't know if I've seen any of his films, to be honest. I probably have. He's a man that he'll come into the room and just his aura and presence, you're like, damn, he's got the respect. You respect him, but it's not out of arrogance or overconfident. He's just got that aura that, you know, it's like he knows his shit kind of aura, and he's gonna be able to get this job done better than anyone. It's proper acting. It's not like, do you know, there's some actors now that are good but not really good, and you know, let's think of a couple. For example, Ben Affleck. He's good, but we're talking about acting, real solid acting, and he was, and he carried this aura of professionalism, and he took his work and his creativity seriously as well. So he had that kind of energy. They were both very loyal to each other. I don't know what happened with the kids' mother, obviously, and I'm presuming that it's the kids' mother. Let's just run through I've hit everything, and then I'm going to pull cards because you're going to hear more about this, and I don't know in this situation if they will release body cam footage or if they have, but there's going to be fight over the will. And I feel like after he's wrote something in his will, which might have gone to her, because I do think that there is her, she's made sure that it doesn't go to anyone else anyone else. They were kind of like together. It was those two. It wasn't like we've got loads of friends and the kids come over. No, it was just like those two on each other, their back. And that's why she didn't always want to leave him. He also, though, had his really bad days. Like, he'd be like, he wants another shake, or he wants to eat something. She'd be like, no, you can't have that today, or you can't have another one. And he'd be like, he'd feel suffocated from her sometimes. He really loved her, but she was very strict with his regimen, and that would pee him off. I mean, his time was coming, right? But think about this: diagnosing his end of thing as long-term heart disease or something, and she passed away, and then I heard a dog passed away, didn't it? But let me just go into the psychic notes that I got, and I've got some predictions here. So I've mentioned I don't think it's all natural. Oh, do you know what? Also with her, this hantavirus is not it. I'm not saying it wasn't in her system. She got it actually from an event or a dinner at a restaurant, and I'm not sure if it's the drink or in the food, but that's how she got it. Because when I heard of it, I was like, oh, they've got rodents running around, or what is it really? But she got it that way. On her last day, she was like, I don't feel right. I don't feel well. But do you know when you've got your daily routine and you need to get stuff and then you need to look after Jean? And she wasn't really tapping into how she's feeling properly. If she sat down, she did feel her tummy sore and quite fainty and get a really strong headache as well. And she was like, I'm not well. But she was like rolling with what she had to do. But it was sudden. Her passing was very sudden. I also don't believe they have the dates, the 11th and the 18th. I don't think they have the dates correct in their passing. So I don't think it's natural. Investment property is the big reason. The other thing I wanted to mention about the property, someone had noted their property as their address or their base for their business, but it wasn't their base of the business. And the business that they were doing was some form of illegal trafficking, fraud, something that like it's just not legal. I don't think they knew about it, but part of the lurking that Betsy was trying to get her hold on, it was that she was feeling more uncomfortable with. Do you know when you're like, let's put this scenario, the kids want to get the money and there's a lurking energy on us, we need to be careful. But there's something about it, yes, 100%, I know this is Betsy, I know that's there, which is like feeling another lurky thing, and the lurky thing is that their property is noted by this. So for example, if someone is doing a fraud, if someone wants to put a false address of a business because the business is shady or something, they'll put a fake address. Sometimes that fake address might turn out to be someone's address. That's what was happening. Now, that's what their property was registered. Someone's registered their property under that. Is that from someone in the media industry? And this is part of why they have that establishment, because there's something around benefits or that establishment that they have, but it's kind of like, do you know, for example, you're in a contract. So they're like, you do this movie and then you'll have this establishment. But you're like, okay, I've got this establishment and I've done my movie and stuff. But my lawyer, I've kind of got this relationship with this production or production media company, film production. And although it's mine, it's rooted as their establishment. It's mine. And so can they take that benefit from me? There's that kind of energy as well. It's a bit weird, but there's that energy. I told you it's a bit complex. So is feisty she's feisty, but also most recently Jean felt a bit strangled by her on his bad days. So like I said, he wanted something, but he just wanted to be out on those days, out of the relationship. Obviously she was everything to him and he was everything to her. There was no gold digging in this. There's going to be something about his will, the investment, the property secret. They're trying to keep a secret from some investment. There's a lot of financial elements. the kids are lurking, the real estate. I think one of the kids would have already got, before this even happened, not real estate lawyers, what do you call those family lawyers that deal with property? There's that energy there, right? Already before, you know, father's not passed, Betsy not passed, nothing like that, but they have that there. He created his own wealth, right? None of this was shortcuts. This was his hard work. This was his profession, his talent, his skills, his aura. And that's what I get strongly as well. Betsy would be the type of person that tells people to F off if they're trying to take advantage or etc. And she was very loyal to the core in protecting his word, but should also, you know, make sure that she put down something that was morally correct. And if he said, for example, just F it, like, we're dead, so, you know, let them take it, whatever happens, should make sure that it's covered, gaps are covered. Emotional distance from children could also be vice versa. And I've said about him saying he set them up and is like, I'm not here forever to just continue giving. So I've got here, check on the legal elements for the battles, battles as cards. There's going to be some news on Betsy taking control of something to come out. But she was doing the right thing. And robust to protect maybe what Jean wanted, or to protect like what I just said. So there's going to be something that's going to come out that says she controlled everything, but in fact it was that, like what I've just explained. I've put here, Betsy's not the mum, right? Questioning, asking you all. One sibling is very much, energy is very much at the forefront. There's no remorse towards Betsy or anything on this. They had a fantastic relationship, Betsy and Jean. She was like something different that caught him in the beginning. He also allowed her space to be her freedom, even her looks, creative endeavors. Betsy was invited to a restaurant. I get that was either the food or liquid that had this. Could it be implanted? I don't know. But there was a pre-plan of not exactly how things happened, but of this that was getting in the works, but then this went down. Like on another scale, this went down, like the passings, the deaths, etc. Betsy caught someone being behind the scenes, the lurking energy. It was sudden death for her. It was sudden. It wasn't like she wasn't feeling well, but then it wasn't kind of like 20 days of in bed or etc. No, she, you know, it was kind of very sudden. She was trying to stop something that was happening, but she wasn't satisfied with the professional advice that she got, and she felt a bit of anxiety on that. She held back from Jean on a lot of stuff, like I said. She didn't always show her weakness or her worries. And then I said about her tummy soreness, but she rolled on. She felt fainty. She looks back and is obvious that there's something more off at the time, but she didn't feel it. And I've got here some low blood pressure as well. Like that was maybe that's what she was feeling fainty for. More info is going to come out on this case. Jean, they're not really aware that the property was a disguise listed as something. There will be a fight on the will, and I think I've said everything here. So let's look at, tell us about Bestie's death, please, Spirit. So we've got the Six of Wands. She's not being recognized for who she is. She was trying to put up a fight, but she really felt defeated in the end, which made her feel weaker. And there's that anxiety that she was holding back from. Ace of Cups, holding back from Jean. Okay. Sudden death with her health. Sudden death with her health. Queen of Swords there. That's that female energy, is it the daughter? I knew that was going to happen. I asked for 2 cards and I asked for this, right? I'm going to interpret. And I asked for this to confirm if someone had done it as opposed to her. There was disharmony in the family, focusing on the property, their investments. There was a plan around this, but the plan didn't go forward as they planned. It happened, the sudden thing with her health and what actually happened, right? But like I said, there was a plan here. So yeah, what they wanted to plan and do didn't go ahead at the time. I don't know if she also felt a very heavy burden around the investments and what was probably trying to be grabbed. But there's some kind of charitable energy here with the 6 of Pentacles as well. And not for the family. Not to go to the family in terms of the will. Let's look at Jean. Look at this. King of Wands. What is his star sign, by the way? I don't think he's a fire sign. The Devil and the Emperor. Tell me that is not someone lurking there, giving the side eye. Okay. He was taken by surprise. That caused the final thing. I mean, he'd already got really, really weak, but he was taken by surprise. And confronted by someone took him by surprise that made his heart, you know, like made him jump or made him really worried and he couldn't get away and stuff. And look at all this. And I wonder if it's one of his sons or a male. It's a male. Okay. It's a male. So Betsy has this. Someone was involved and they don't have to have done anything like knife or something, but they, you know, when you know that, for example, someone has a heart problem or someone has Alzheimer's, you can get in the door or where they don't lock the door, and you can do stuff where you know the person's not going to be okay, because the person with Alzheimer's, I felt like sometimes he didn't really know who she was. I don't know why I feel so sad right now. I really feel sad on his passing. I really hope they have CCTV. But again, I don't know if they would, because there was kind of this energy of keep things quiet so the establishment's not taken from them or a benefit or something. his health was at risk, okay? His health was at risk, and it was a big contributor to him passing, the sudden passing. So what I'm trying to say is he had this health problem. Then we had these cards and these cards. Okay, I'd asked for the Temperance to confirm my question. I'd asked for a Tower here. So because he had these health problems that needed to be managed and monitored, that were neglected, he was already not in a great state. Then with these cards we've got here, he was confronted. It might not have been, oh, like, you're not doing this, or you're going to sign this, or it could be like he was just taken by surprise. He didn't even know where he was, and he's in shock. And with his health situation, it wasn't done. Someone who wanted the money, it wasn't done in a patient way. Someone here, and it's a lot of male energy. I've got everything male here. There's a showing up. I think this is probably 2 children. There's a female there where they're lurking in the background. Yeah. That's really sad. I feel really sad to see that. There is going to be a fight for the wool and stuff. Not moving forward peacefully. There's some deception around it, trying to steal what's not the person's from their father. You know? Or whoever's trying to steal, it's from Jean at the end of the day. Not moving peacefully forward on it. And if they do get something, it's stolen on a basis of stolen. I just want to see these cards, which we might have to take very easily, okay, or as clues. This is too much. Top of the card, organized. That was that part. Regret. So something that's going to come out, someone's going to regret an action that they've taken, and it could be around the planning that I mentioned. Just ties in, doesn't it? One more. That's like family. It's the people you love. Abuse, neglect. I mean, these cards sometimes I don't like to get out because they're very generic and they're crime, obviously, but they don't fail me. Whether it's what's written or the signs there. I won't be surprised if he was actually isolated, not able to move at a stance. I don't like that energy, and I hope I don't know how they're going to catch someone who's done something and then prove they've done it without like, oh, we went to visit. And then the dog, I don't know what the story is with the dog, but yeah, the daughter is very forward in the energy. Let's see something quickly. So this will be put up for everyone. Hey Mimi, I just thought I'd give you a special hello. In the middle of trying to channel a bit of Jean, okay. I feel like a gut punch Jean feels. Final messages from Jean. It's all about investment and property, his wealth. We had the Six of Wands at the bottom, his recognition, his fame. Fool. Not letting go of what you can grab, the wealth, the investment, the property. This is, I don't want to say it, but this is also, he's not moved on fully yet, you know, although I feel like his, and we get the Four of Swords, he's passed on but let go fully. He knows that there's going to be a grabbing of this. He can see it clearly. For his passing, yes, he was very confused, told to look at the bottom of the deck, but he's either, well, on that day he saw clearly, he wasn't confused on who was there while he was passing in the property, you know, making him jump. I don't know why this is showing me something planted. And I get a yes with that from him. Yeah. At the end of the day, I was a father and a husband. And although a lot of things were not clear and hidden, Moon card, okay, he was giving a lot. Jupiter, I feel like here he's talking about also his life with Betsy. But that's what really, honestly, even if there was distance, that's what meant the world to him. The love that surrounded him, but it's like it wasn't there. I'm going to leave this here. I don't even know if anyone's interested in the story anymore, but honestly, there needs to be an investigation. Like I said, they went in, even when they said about carbon monoxide, they were like, we can't find anything else. They were not even convinced by it. And even her, like, it's like, she's really, look, things need to come out around it. And it will be about something she's also been nervous about. Like, if someone speaks up about that she was nervous around certain things happening, it's going to give some clues. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I just ask that you give a thumbs up, a like. If you wanted to buy me a coffee at any point in time, not necessarily now, whenever you want, you can do via the PayPal. Thank you for being here, and if you're a Patreon or a member as well, I hope you enjoyed the first portion and you get to see this with us all as well. And I'm going to take a quick break and then we'll get on to some of your questions. And Tanya, bye everyone.